Imagine you've been waiting for a long time to bring your parents and grandparents to Canada to live with you. Canada used to have a program called the Parents and Grandparents Program, or we call it PGP for short, which allowed immigrants who are permanent residents to sponsor their parents and grandparents to come and live in Canada permanently. This meant your parents or grandparents could work, get healthcare, and live in Canada as long as they wanted. But now the things have changed. In the recent years, a lot of people have applied for this program, so many that Canada couldn't keep up. And by the end of 2023, there were 40,000 applications still waiting to be processed. That's like a huge line at an amusement park that never seemed to move. Because of this, the Canadian government decided to pause the new applications starting in 2025 and now continued the pause in 2026. They need to finish the applications already waiting before and letting the new families apply. For the 2025 intake, Canada only accepted people who already showed interest back in 2020. Between the July-October 2025, the government sent out 17,816 invitations to apply. But even though they invited many, they will still need to process maximum of 10,000 applicants to keep things manageable. Since the regular PGP program is paused, families waiting to bring their parents and grandparents to Canada now have an alternative called the Super Visa. Yes, a good news. This doesn't give you permanent residency, which means your parents and grandparents won't officially become the permanent residents of the Canada. However, the Super Visa lets them to stay in Canada for up to 5 years at a time, and it can be renewed. So it's not just permanent, but for the families who want to be together for a longer time, waiting for PGP is not just the only option. You can apply for the Super Visa. But why did PGP was stopped in the first hand? Well, it was really about managing the numbers. Canada wanted to make sure that it can carefully process the application that were already waiting and that they could plan to reduce the total number of permanent residents by 4% by 2026. That means 380,000 people will become PR, basically permanent residents, next year. And this careful approach helps government to manage resources like healthcare, housing, and support for all the new residents. Another important thing is that PGP program, the person sponsoring the parents or grandparents has to agree to financially support them for 20 years. This is a big commitment. The Super Visa doesn't have this requirement though. So there's a clear comparison. Now you need to decide what is beneficial for you. And if you are an Indian thinking to get your parents there or maybe grandparents, think about this. What do you think? Was this video helpful for you? Make sure to comment down below. Thanks for watching.